Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay Will. So today's phones are great. Phones that are out today are fantastic, like meaning current model phones. But do they stand up to some of these phones that have been out long before them? This is my Axon 7 and it is still going strong. Wow. So I wanted to talk about it today and give you an update on the Axon 7 because I actually still do use this phone. And kind of, back a while back, I made videos about, I hope the Axon 8 comes. I hope the Axon 9 comes. I'm hopeful. Well, the ZTE ban, that drama that they went through, that's all taken care of at this point from what we know. And we're gonna, in this video, just look at today's phones versus, or just talk about today's phones versus, what it was in the past. Now, I made a point about the HTC U12 phone compared to the HTC 10 and how I like the HTC 10 better, and I felt like the aluminum bodies are more premium. And I stand strong on that because, you look at the hardware on the phones today, and you look at what we thought was bad, and now we're kind of, some of us are kind of saying, yeah, I think I kind of like this style better. Well, the Axon 7 is a phone that released a year and a half ago, maybe. It's a good phone still, though. Mine still works great, still got great battery. Cameras are good. Speakers pretty much are just until the Galaxy S9 came along. These to me were just the most full and premium sounding speakers I had in my catalog. And the Galaxy S9, they're just louder and a little bit more favorable to me. But other than that, it still took all that time to me to take down this phone right here in a lot of areas. You think about this phone coming out almost 2 years ago. Look at how premium it looks compared to some of the phones that are out now. All the phones now are coming out with plastic or glass backs. And because, you want to have these fancy designs and things like that, you want to have, that's a beautiful shimmer. But I can guarantee you if I drop this phone one time, it is a goner along with every other glass phone that I have. This phone right here still feels premium, even though it was released almost 2 years ago. And there are several phones out there that were released almost 2 years ago. And you got to think about it now. This is pretty much a 2-year-old phone, but look at how it's still premium. And so I wanted to get you guys up to speed. My Axon 7 looks and works like brand new. Everything on it, I took it out of the case, which is one of the reasons mine looks and works like brand new, is because it's always protected. This is the OEM case for the Axon 7. A lot of these things you can't even find anymore, man. You can't find anymore. So I know there's people out there that are still using the Axon 7. As well you should be. If your phone is working, you should use it. The internals in here are still powerhouse internals, and you're still getting a lot of premium features on this phone. Think about it. It's got Type-C. It's got a headphone jack. Those are things that, some people are wishing that they had now that's getting taken away or don't have at the price points. It's got this beautiful metal body. It is just a great looking phone still. This is still one of the best looking phones I've ever owned, and it works fantastic. Even if I wasn't going to use a case with this, it's still great. It's still a fantastic phone, and it's not very slippery because of that matte feel on it. So if you have an Axon 7, what do you think about it now, using it in this day and age? Now, there's probably all kind of betas out and things like that. Whatever software's on mine, that's what's on there. I think I'm still on like 7.1 or something. I don't remember. 7.1, yeah. But that Snapdragon 820 in here, more than enough, man. This phone still flies. It still works good. Battery life on mine is still good. And it might be good like this because I don't use it as a daily driver anymore. I'll just pull it out every now and then, use it for a month, and then make sure it's up to date, and then put it back away. But I feel compelled. I feel like I need to keep it on the forefront, because this phone is better than a lot of phones that I have right now as far as hardware goes. The software obviously should be updated. You know, it would need an update in order to compete with some of the other phones. However, I've got phones that are 7.1.1 and they still run better than some of the current model phones that are running the latest software. So having the latest software doesn't always mean that you're going to get the best performance. Sorry if I'm out of focus there. A little focus hunting. But I will say that the Axon 7, to me, still rivals several phones on the market. Several. Because HTC stepped away from the actual boom sound design, and everybody's going to the earpiece and the bottom firing speaker. This is just a design. This is a compact phone. I mean, think about it. It's got a 5.5-inch Quad HD display with dual speakers. You know, it's a thin frame. It's got Type-C, like I said before, the noise canceling microphones, the headphone jack, the cameras are still good. There's just a lot about this phone that I think people, if you have one or you're able to get one, I think you'll enjoy it, man. I don't know if you can find these anymore. Well, I'm pretty sure you can. But the point is, will a person want to give theirs up? And the answer is probably going to be no. You've got great hardware. Like I said, my battery still runs like a champ. The software, even though it's not 8.1 or Android P, it still runs smooth. You know, I've got high-end features on this phone, and it's almost 2 years old. And there's plenty of phones out there that are like this phone with high-end features that are still great that you guys are still using. So I would say, man, if you have an Axon 7, tell me about it. Are you still using it as a daily driver? And I think a lot of people outside of the US responded to me this last time, and they're still using this phone. And there's a few people in the US that say, yeah, I'm using mine. It's still great. My battery doesn't go as long, it lasts as long, but it still works great. Because these speakers, they're still unmatched by several phones, man. So what do you guys think about the Axon 7 in 2018, 2019? I could use this every day. It's a good size. It's the hardware is premium. Even with this case on here, it still feels great. Gives it all the grip I need. I mean, this is just great hardware. It's fantastic. Speaker quality is banging too, man. You can't sleep on this phone for speaker quality. So it's your man Jay Will. Axon 7 in 2018. If they were to bring this phone back and just, you know, update the software, and they're saying they called it the Axon 7.5, I don't know, Axon 7 S7, I don't know, they just named it something else, but brought it back just as they did, same hardware and everything, and upped the internals to a Snapdragon 845, and, you know, gave it 6 gigs of RAM, and then gave it Android 8.1, would you buy this? I would. It's your man Jay Will. I'll see you guys in the next video. Comment down below.